Africa, a continent pulsating with life, a land of immense beauty and untold potential. For centuries, the world saw only darkness, a place of poverty and strife. They failed to see the heart of a lion, the spirit of a people. They underestimated Africa. They were wrong. Africa is awake now. It rises from the ashes of its past, shaking off the shackles of colonialism. The continent is reclaiming its narrative, rewriting its story. This is not a tale of pity, but of pride. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The world is finally starting to listen. They hear the rhythm of the djembe drum, the soulful melodies of the kora. They see the vibrant colors of Ankara fabric, the intricate designs of African art. They taste the rich flavors of jollof rice, the spicy kick of piri-piri chicken. Africa is a feast for the senses. The world is waking up to a new reality. Africa is not rising, it has already risen. The colonial era cast a long shadow over Africa. European powers, driven by greed and a false sense of superiority, carved up the continent like a cake. They plundered its resources, exploited its people, and sought to erase its identity. Africans were treated as second-class citizens in their own land. They endured forced labor, brutal punishments, and systematic discrimination. Their traditions were mocked, their languages suppressed, their history rewritten. But even in the darkest of times, the flame of resistance never died. From the Ashanti warriors of Ghana to the Herero people of Namibia, Africans fought back against their oppressors. They resisted with courage and determination, fueled by a burning desire for freedom. The seeds of independence were sown, the fight for liberation had begun. The winds of change swept across Africa in the mid-20th century. The Second World War had weakened the colonial powers, and the people of Africa were no longer willing to accept subjugation. They demanded their birthright, freedom. From the bustling streets of Accra to the dusty plains of Nairobi, independence movements took root. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, and Julius Nyerere emerged, their voices echoing across the continent. They spoke of self-determination, unity, and the promise of a brighter future. The struggle for independence was long and arduous. It was fought on battlefields and in courtrooms, through peaceful protests and armed resistance. But victory was inevitable. One by one, African nations broke free from the shackles of colonialism, reclaiming their sovereignty and charting their own destinies. The journey had just begun. The fight for true liberation was far from over. Political independence was a crucial step, but true liberation required more than just lowering flags and raising new ones. It demanded a mental revolution, a dismantling of the colonial structures that had taken root in the minds of both the colonizer and the colonized. The legacy of colonialism continued to cast a shadow over the continent. Years of subjugation had left deep scars on the African psyche, fostering a sense of inferiority and dependence. But Africans are resilient. They began to challenge the Eurocentric narratives that had been imposed upon them. They embraced their African identity, celebrating their cultures, languages, and traditions. The work of writers like Chinua Achebe, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and Mariama Ba played a vital role in this mental decolonization. They reclaimed African narratives, telling stories from an African perspective, and challenging the world to see Africa through African eyes. Section 5. A tapestry of color and rhythm. African culture is experiencing a renaissance. From music and fashion to art and literature, creativity is flourishing across the continent. Young Africans are embracing their heritage, infusing it with modern influences and sharing it with the world. African music is making waves globally. Afrobeats, with its infectious rhythms and catchy melodies, has taken the world by storm. Artists like Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Tiwa Savage are filling stadiums and topping charts, showcasing the vibrancy and diversity of African sound. African fashion is also making a statement. Designers like Laduma Nksokolo and Thebe Magugu are redefining global fashion trends, drawing inspiration from traditional African textiles and techniques while pushing creative boundaries. African art is captivating audiences around the world. From the intricate sculptures of Benin to the vibrant paintings of the Ndebele people, African art is finally receiving the recognition it deserves. This cultural resurgence is not just about aesthetics. It is about reclaiming identity, celebrating diversity, and sharing the beauty and richness of African culture with the world. Section 6. The Digital Savanna's Lions. Africa is not just catching up with the digital revolution, it is shaping it. Across the continent, a new generation of tech-savvy entrepreneurs is emerging, harnessing the power of technology to solve local problems and create innovative solutions. From mobile money platforms like M-Pesa in Kenya to e-commerce giants like Jumia, African tech startups are disrupting traditional industries and driving economic growth. They are creating jobs, empowering communities, and demonstrating the ingenuity and entrepreneurial spirit of Africa's youth. This digital transformation is bridging the gap between Africa and the rest of the world. It is connecting people, facilitating trade, and opening up new opportunities for education and development. The digital savannah is teeming with potential. The lions are roaring. Section 7. Africa's sun rises in the east. The narrative about Africa is changing. The old stereotypes are being challenged and replaced with a more nuanced and accurate portrayal of the continent. The world is finally seeing Africa for what it is, a continent of immense diversity, resilience, and potential. This transformation is driven by Africans themselves. They are taking control of their narrative, sharing their stories, and challenging the world to see Africa through their eyes. They are not asking for permission, they are demanding to be heard. The sun is rising on a new Africa. It is a continent on the move, a land of opportunity, a place where dreams are being realized. Section 8. A continent on the rise. Africa's journey is far from over. Challenges remain, but the future is bright. The continent is young, dynamic, and full of potential. The world needs to look beyond the old narratives and embrace the new Africa. This is a story of resilience, of rebirth, of a people determined to shape their own destiny. It is a story that needs to be told and retold until the world understands that Africa is not rising. Africa has already risen.